to go along with the book launch planner, I have this resources page on my website, and I'm going to take you on a tour of it. It is broken down by the same sections as in the planner, so things that are referenced in the planner, you'll get more information and the clickable links here, as well as tons more. And this is free. You don't have to have purchased the planner. You can just come straight here, and there is some extra bonuses if you have purchased the planner. So there is a code on page 47 that will give you access to some spreadsheets and workbooks that you can also use. But there is so much here, and I'm so proud of it. So one of the things is the planner doesn't cover things like ISBN, cover design, editing, formatting. And one of my beta readers said, I really need guidance on that too. So I did some research and I put a bunch of links for things like that as well. And Vellum, I think, is the other one that is similar, but I purchased Atticus recently, so I'll do a video about using that to help format books, but there's also how to format it in Word and all kinds of stuff. Info about ISBN numbers, where to purchase an ISBN number, places you can get cover designs or how to design your own cover, ideas for cover designs. These are resources that are like big overview everything. So like David Grogan has Starting from Zero, which is a massive free course on being an indie author. And this one's a little bit shorter, but still awesome. This one I just bought because they had a deal on it because it's new, and I'm not wild about it so far. I'm going to do a video about that, so if it doesn't shape up soon, I'll probably take that off of there because I'm not very impressed. Then some stuff that I just didn't know where to put anywhere else. This is a really interesting article about the effects of the right title and ideas about how to tweak your title to make it sell even better. Story Origin is really neat. I'm going to have a separate video on them as well. This is a place where you can answer their questions and submit it, and they'll post it as an author interview, which is really neat. And this is an online bookshop that will, when you promote people purchasing books there, it will credit the books to a local bookstore. It's quite unique. So this is more information about them and how that works. And then one of the first things in the planner is talking about ideal readers, target readers, and blurbs. So I have this video that is an interview I did with Jessie, whose entire business is writing blurbs and helping you to write better blurbs. And she's got a course that you can take, and it's very affordable. Plus, I have a 10% off discount for you. And then my friend Melissa is launching this wild AI thing that looks just amazing, that's going to dig into all of this like buyer's journey and market research and ideal client, and it just looks incredible. So you can learn more about that. This is an article about how to write a bio, especially for first-time authors if you don't have previously published work. How to write it without it having experience, and a blog post about writing a better blurb, which is really cool. This is my author website template, which I've talked about before. It is mentioned in the planner because I think this is the very best option for getting you set up with an author website and an email newsletter list and a reader magnet funnel, all those good things, because $47 a month is just absolutely unbeatable. And it comes with these template pages. So this is a video that you can watch of me taking those template pages and customizing them to my Ruth Madison brand. Then there's Publisher Rocket, which helps with keywords for Amazon and for ads. There is a course about publishing wide, and there's a page in the planner that talks about wide versus narrow, which has to do with whether you decide to use the Kindle Unlimited, which means you have to be exclusive to them. So that's what narrow means, but it comes with some nice perks. I've been doing it recently just because I haven't had the energy and time to put into promoting on wider platforms. But this is like if you're going to also publish on Draft to Digital and Barnes & Noble and Ingram Spark, if you have it outside of the Kindle, especially obviously as an ebook, then that is what publishing wide is, which can work very effectively if you are actually promoting those other platforms and places to get your book. So that's kind of what this podcast episode is about. This is a really beautiful spreadsheet tracker that I found on Etsy to help you track your book sales, and it works for wide authors or Kindle Unlimited authors. This is an article about finding launch team members. And then we get into the goals section of the planner. This is pretty brief. There's a calculator for pricing and this great video to help you figure out what to price your book at. Then 3 months before, podcasts, all kinds of places to find podcast guesting opportunities, and my blog post about how to find opportunities and pitch them and why being a podcast guest is super powerful. PR resources. So this is Ashley Bernardi of Nardi Media. She came on my podcast to talk about PR, and I also spoke with Andrea Pass, who does PR for book people, for authors. I'm going to have Lillian Sue on pretty soon, who also does PR for authors. Then there's how to write a book press release, template for a book press release, places to submit your book press release. This is a video about Author Media Kit, what to have on your website for when you're pitching podcasts or PR opportunities. We got a bunch of stuff here under review sites. So these have all been recommended by people that I really trust. NetGalley I used to use when I was a publisher way back, like 15 years ago. Some of these are kind of low cost. A lot of them are in like the $100 range though. But these all have free options. And these were gathered by Kindlepreneur, who has an incredible website full of amazing articles. So I'm going to be going through this later to see which ones I want to submit to. And then here's some videos also about book review sites and promo stacking and all that good stuff. And here's a little tip on how, well, this is actually a Kindlepreneur article that's quite in depth about getting reviews with no blog, no list, and no begging. But one of the things that's in here that I think is very useful is how to create a link that goes straight to the review part, so you can send that to people without them futzing around trying to find it on Amazon. Then I discovered this blog tour service that this website, She Will Do Done For You, setting up blog tours for different amounts of time, which is very cool because finding your own review and blog sites can be extremely tedious. So that's a really neat thing to look into. Then there's a huge section on social media. I love social media for bringing traffic to whatever it is you're promoting. This is another thing I found on Etsy that was amazing. I think it was like $44. I bought it immediately. It's a spreadsheet that is a year's worth of prompts for social media, and it comes with tons of Canva templates. And I have been using those to stay consistent on my Ruth Madison Instagram, and it's really, really great. Info about making a book trailer. I think this is a link to the book trailer that I put together for my own book. And my great friend Donna does author mixtapes, which are so fun. So she does like book trailers and things like that. And she's going to be having some more resources coming out soon that I know are going to be amazing and I'm going to have in here. I have this video about how you can use Facebook groups to promote yourself, not your own groups, but going into other people's groups and how best to do that. This is a Pinterest course that I took a couple years ago and I loved. It was really easy to follow, made a lot of sense. This is my friend Shelby, who sells poetry books through TikTok. Absolutely incredible. So she has this book talk blueprint as well as several other really great products. So I have a link to that. I interviewed the COO of BookBrush, which is kind of like Canva, but specifically for authors. And they have lots of templates and mock-ups and things to make your ads and your promo images and your book trailers. And now they have this VA services thing, which is really cool. So you can just buy a package of hours and have their design team work on any of these items, which includes not just the graphic design, but you can taglines and book hooks. So we talked a lot about that in this interview. It's really, really a great service. Here's an example of how I turned a book blurb into a totally cheesy short, and some templates that I put together myself. So you can access those. And if you don't have Canva yet, Canva is amazing, and you can purchase that here. It's a program I've been using every day for several years now. It's very, very useful for putting together any kind of graphics you need. Then we get to 2 months before, setting up bookfunnel.com for newsletter exchanges and group promos. It drives me a little crazy because it really is not a book funnel. So the fact that they have that URL, it makes my eye twitch a little bit. But it is good for other things besides book funnels. So if you're going to make it function as a book funnel, you really need to be getting the email addresses, and you have to pay for the middle tier of their thing to actually get access to people's email addresses. Seems weird to me. But for $20 a year, you can do the first tier, and that one lets you set up books that you can send out in these exchanges. And now Story Origin that I mentioned earlier has a very similar service. So I'm going to be examining that more closely as well. Then we have some lists of favorite book promo sites. Again, David Grogan is trust him with everything author career related. He has been doing this since early 2000s and from the very, very first days of Kindle, and he really knows what he's talking about. BookBub is one that everybody uses. This is the biggest of all book promo sites. And a lot of people associate them with their featured deal option, but you have to apply for the featured deal, and it's very hard to get accepted. But you can just purchase an ad from them. So much easier, simpler to just run an ad with them. And they also have a kind of a social media on there. You can actually set up an author profile and get followers, kind of like Goodreads. You can make lists of different books, and you get certain perks. If you get a lot of followers on there, you can get discounts on things. I have absolutely 0 followers right now, so yeah. Other book promo sites. These are all paid in some way. This is a neat thing that's, they run Free Booksy and Bargain Booksy, and they have a service where they help with your Facebook and Amazon ads. Their book launch promo stack looks pretty cool, just a whole bunch of promo in one go for your brand new book. And they also have a membership option, so you can look more closely at that. And another thing to consider is not just being a guest on podcasts, but you can also sponsor podcasts. A lot of podcasts have the opportunity to advertise with them where they'll be talking whatever they do on their podcast, and they'll pause and be like, and today's episode is sponsored by this novel. Here's the blurb, and here's where you can buy it. So you can pay to have those opportunities as well. Then we've got some information about doing book signings or book reading events in person. This article had 35 ideas, and they were all great. And so I was like, I'm not going to just copy over each and every one of them. Just go there. There's so much there. If you want to get swag like bookmarks or even tablecloths and posters and stuff, Vistaprint does all of that. And one of my very best friends and her boyfriend both work for Vistaprint, so I'm always like, yay, I love them. This author did a book reading on the day of her release, and she put clips from the event up on Facebook. So it was the in-person event was helpful, and then she got even more impact from it by putting clips on social media too. Here are lots of great tips about book signing events. I found these stickers on Etsy, and heck yes, if you're signing books, how awesome would that sticker be for the front covers? Yeah. And then launch parties, kind of similar, but some other ideas here. In the launch planner, I talk about how you can really get creative here and utilize some of the things that people are doing in direct sales parties. So this is a company that creates scripts for Facebook parties for selling products, but you can really utilize some of those fun ideas for your virtual book launch party, which people will be much more excited to attend and support than a direct sales party. Sorry, it's true. My friend Rich Bontrager has a service where he puts together a massive virtual book launch party, and it comes with like extra media clips, little clips that you can post around the web, and coaching on how to speak about your book, and just a ton of stuff. Another friend of mine does send out cards. Speaking of direct sales, this is a direct sales company, but they have some really cool opportunities for like sending out invites, thank yous, sending brochures, postcards, probably bookmarks. You could have a QR code to invite people for where they can purchase your book on. So I thought that could be pretty cool as invites for your launch party. This video is from an event planner, so it wasn't book specific, but it is about a launch party, and she had some really helpful ideas. This is a little video that shows somebody's book launch party, and so you can get some ideas about what kind of things she had there, and it's really nice. More information about Goodreads, how to use Goodreads as authors, Goodreads Giveaway, which is $119, but usually gets some helpful results. So a lot of people do that, and it can get you a lot of attention. For soft launch week, we're going to be mostly optimizing the Amazon profile. So we've got how to make the A+ content, your book page, and your author Amazon Central author page. And then launch week there's tons to do, but not a lot that you need to be like going out and there's a lot of activities in here, but you've already laid the groundwork for a lot of them. But I recently was talking to Jennifer Nichols, and she does done for you and done with you social media services. And she said, I could offer something that is helping to manage engagement during launch week, because it's a ton of work when you're posting and posting and posting and asking your launch team to post and making a big splash all over the place with your book coming out. So are you going to be the one responding to comments, answering questions, the gajillion people going, where can I buy this? Even though it's in the description, reposting if people mention you, and following up with people. So it could really be helpful to hire someone like Jennifer to take care of that side of it for you during launch week. And then I also have this indie bookstore finder, because another suggestion during launch week in the planner is to have your friends and family or social followers request a copy of your book from their local bookstores. So this is some place where they can find local bookstores that they can call and ask to have your book ordered in that they can purchase. And then post-launch week is when I suggest starting up ads to keep the momentum going. So we've got lots of resources about how to use Amazon ads, Facebook ads, BookBub ads. And this is David Grogan again. This is April. She has a ton of great information. This is, what's her name? Alana something is an author, and she has a bunch of resources and courses and things for author ads. And then 1 month after, we've got submitting your book for awards. So this is a really neat service that I just found out about, Book Award Pro, that helps you to make sure that you're finding legitimate awards, and that you just give it information about your book and it sends you an email and says, here's some awards that you can apply for. And it's free for that. But then you have to go and like Google and find the information. So you can pay for it to also do the submissions through their platform. And there's some more lists of awards or individual places, awards. I keep saying rewards, awards there. And then in the ongoing section, these are some of the things that it talks about. And I'm going to be putting together the next book launch planner to just condense down what's in here with the parts that you're not going to need for your second book. Like some of these are foundational pieces that you need to put into place for your first book, but then you don't need it every time you're launching a book. So I want to have like a shorter version that is just what you need to launch each book so that you can purchase a planner each time you're launching a book. I have a playlist on YouTube that is always growing, that has lots of videos about book marketing ideas. Here's a couple more videos and some books about book publishing and marketing. So that's the resources page right now. A lot of stuff on there, and it will probably continue to grow because anytime I am on YouTube and it recommends me another thing about book promotion, I'm going to be paying attention. So head on over to financiallyfreeauthor.com/launch resources to take a look at that. And I think you'll find a lot of helpful stuff here, whether you have the planner or not.